In the second half of May, China came under the influence of several dangerous natural processes at once. In different parts of the country, heavy downpours, floods, landslides, and seismic activity were developing almost simultaneously. One of the most notable events was a pair of shallow earthquakes in the Guangxi-Zhuang Autonomous Region. On May 18th, two tremors of the same magnitude, 5.2, were recorded in the Lunan district of Liuzhou. The first earthquake occurred at 12:21 a.m., and the second at 9:44 p.m. local time, about 21 hours apart. Both hypocenters were very close to the surface, at depths of up to about 6 miles. According to the China Seismic Network, the epicenters were located about 0.6 miles apart. At the same time, the area proved to be extremely vulnerable. Up to 6.8 million people live within a radius of about 62 miles from the epicenters. Seismologists described the activity as an earthquake swarm. The tremors had begun a full day before the two main earthquakes on May 18th, and after them, a series of aftershocks continued, the strongest of which reached a magnitude of 3.6. Residents said the second earthquake felt stronger and lasted longer. Buildings swayed noticeably, and the shaking itself lasted about 3 seconds. The tremors were felt not only in Guangxi, but also in neighboring provinces, Guangdong, Guizhou, Sichuan, Yunnan, and Hunan. The maximum intensity reached level 7. After the tremors, many people were afraid to return to their homes and spent the night outside, in cars, or in tents. Near the epicenter, numerous cracks and sinkholes appeared in buildings and on the ground surface. Some houses collapsed immediately, while others continued to break apart after the main shock, which made residents afraid to go inside, even for essential belongings. The consequences also affected the regional economy. In Liuzhou, a popular tourist area known for restaurants serving luosafen, a local spicy rice noodle dish, was damaged. After the earthquakes, tourist sites were closed, and some residents and visitors tried to leave the area as quickly as possible. For Guangxi, this event became one of the most severe in terms of consequences among earthquakes of comparable magnitude in recent years. According to official data, at least 2 people died, and nearly 10,000 residents were evacuated. However, seismic activity was only part of the broader picture. Since mid-May, central, southern, and southwestern China have been hit by a series of extreme rainstorms. The provinces and regions affected by downpours, flash floods, landslides, and mud flows included Hubei, Hunan, Guizhou, Guangxi, Guangdong, Chongqing, Jiangxi, Anhui, Sichuan, Shaanxi, and others. In Guangdong Province, on May 20th, the hydrological station in Hiku Township, Yangjiang County, recorded 39.4 inches of rainfall in a single day, while the average monthly rainfall for May is 10.7 inches. In Hubei Province, the scale of the rainfall was also exceptional. Historical records were exceeded at 112 weather stations. The situation was especially severe in Baishuya Village, Enshi County. Local residents said the rain continued almost without stopping for about a full day, and the flood peak came at around 4 a.m. on May 18th. In some places, the water rose to about 13 feet.
出差回来，家没了，床都飘起来了。这是我箱子。
The flood damaged roads, communication lines, and power supply systems, effectively complicating access to the village. In Shimin County, Hunan Province, the disaster affected more than 58,000 people. Water flows caused bridges to collapse, while more than 20 mountain villages in the Hupingshan area were left without electricity or communications. Humanitarian aid had to be delivered there by drones. Another powerful blow struck Chongqing. On the night of May 24th, 296.6 millimeters, or about 11.7 inches, of rain fell in just 2 hours in Yongchuan District. This was more than twice the average monthly May rainfall for this area, which is 120.2 millimeters, or about 4.7 inches. Later that same day, a mud flow destroyed several residential houses. There were fatalities, and some people were listed as missing. One rescuer described a man who managed to run out of his house during the landslide, but was knocked down by the flow of water. He managed to cling to a tree. Later, he was found alive, but he had suffered a fracture and was severely weakened. By May 25th, water levels in 10 small and medium-sized rivers in China had risen above warning levels. As of May 20th, floods and landslides in China had killed at least 22 people, while another 20 were listed as missing. The events in China showed how dangerous the situation becomes when different natural hazards develop almost simultaneously. These are precisely the kinds of anomalies that reveal how natural systems are changing and which threats may come to the forefront in the coming years. Understanding the physics of these processes is becoming the key to making sense of the ongoing changes, which are increasingly affecting everyone. That is why a scientific approach to studying the transformations taking place on the planet is now becoming one of the priority tasks for society as a whole.